Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a New Edge Mustang review, like my opinions of the car, and so yeah, the car's got almost 109 on it. It's up to temperature, so let's go ahead and go hop over to one of my favorite spots and we'll talk about it. So let's start out with the inside. This particular Mustang of mine has 108, almost 109. It doesn't have a check engine light or anything. I just don't have the car turned all the way on. Interior, I mean, they kind of slacked off with these cars on the interior. Sorry about that. Bluetooth just now kicked in. So I believe they kind of slacked off, like, I mean, I know it was the style for the early 2000s, but I just think it could have been better. So let's go ahead and hop on the outside and we'll do a quick walk around for you guys. Alright you guys, so as I said, this is my 2004 Mustang GT. It's a New Edge body style. They made them from 99 to 2004. Just a couple of fun facts real quick. They actually made two different motors in the 99 to 04. I believe it was 99 to 01 was the Windsor motor, and the later 01 to 04 is the Romeo. So this is the Romeo. They also had two different transmissions for the manuals. I can't remember which one's which, so I'm not gonna falsely tell you. And another quick fun fact is the chassis on these things hadn't changed since 1979. So all the Foxes, the SN90 95s, and the New Edge all have the same chassis. So I bought this car probably, well, a couple of months now, depending on when you see this. Will tell you how long I've had it. I bought it with just under 107 on it, and I've put about 2,000 miles on it, as you've seen now, and it's been a good car. It's very fun to drive. People ask me why I bought this car instead of a newer one, because I did buy it in 2020, and I'll do another video on that. I'm not really going to get into details, but I always wanted a Shelby. I had money saved up for a Shelby, and I wanted another Mustang until I found that Shelby. So I went with the New Edge because they're fairly affordable, they're cheap to do things to, and they're still a fun car. I paid $87 for this one. It makes a little over 300 to the wheels, and I love it. It's a fun car to drive. Doesn't have the get up and go like Becky does or like my Shelby, but it's 04, not a 14 or a 15. So, and plus those two are supercharged, so it's not fair. But I have seen people usually people stop around $500-600 for these cars. They usually say that's about a max out on them, which is fine. I bought this car as a cruiser, like a show car. The black is very hard to maintain. I washed this car yesterday and towel dried it, and you can see all the dirt on it, and I do apologize about that. But those wheels are nice and shiny. Tires aren't nice and shiny. I didn't put any tire dressing on, so yeah. Anyways, overall, I'm in love with the car. No matter how I drive it, whether my foot's in it or my foot's out of it, it usually gets about 18 miles to the gallon. So, whereas with the newer ones, they kind of flex. I could get Devin's Mustang before he supercharged it up to 28, whereas Devin only got like 22. So this one's pretty accurate, like spot on 18 miles to the gallon, no matter how you drive it. I mean, it's really fun. It goes into the curves. With it being a smaller car, it goes into those curves pretty well. But with that being said, there's a couple mods that I had due to that had needed to be okay. I didn't do it to it, but the original owner did. There's a couple of things that needed to be done to help with that performance, and one of the biggest things is lowering the car, because they sit pretty high up. Even with this 1.5 inches, it sits pretty high up. Lowering the car and the short throw shifter, intake, exhaust. I'll link a video for all the stuff that I think you need to do for performance. If you're interested, I'll link that up in either the top and in the description for you guys. But overall, I've been happy with the car. No, it's not a speed demon, but it does get up and go, and it moves out of its own way. My Subaru barely moves out of its own way. This car definitely will get out of its own way. With that being said, some people use 5th gear a lot. I usually don't go past 4th unless I'm cruising on the highway, then I'll get into 5th, or if I'm going to be at a steady speed. I like 4th because I do have the option for the get up and go if I need it, whereas 5th gear, it doesn't move out of its own way. That's because it's overdrive. So if you're looking at one of these for your first vehicle, or first vehicle or your first Mustang, I definitely think it's a good option. Because it doesn't have as much horsepower as the other ones do. So especially if it's your first rear-wheel drive car, that's going to help you out a lot. However, this one does spin tires easier than Devin's 15 Mustang and my 14 Mustang. But, and the price point's pretty good for them. Getting parts for them's pretty good. Like taillights, I've replaced the taillights, I think, for less than 150 bucks. I've got headlights to go into it, less than 150 bucks. So there's a bunch of parts available for them. There's a good community around them. And they're overall just good cars. I haven't had any problems with this one. I've had it for a couple of months now, as I said. Put almost 2,000 miles on it. No problems. And I love it. Only thing I can complain about is the space. But it's a smaller Mustang. It's one of the smaller ones on the market, so you don't expect a lot out of that. Anyways, you guys, if you have any questions or any comments or anything you would like to see done to it, feel free to leave a comment below. If you're interested in what all's done to this car, I'll leave that in the description as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully it's as beautiful there as it is here. Y'all, don't forget to hustle harder.